To order. Can I have your attention?
If you would, everybody turn your mics on if you hadn't already. Okay, I call to order the Rolesville Town Board Commissioners meeting. This is our regular organizational meeting that we have every 2 years after election, and just want to welcome. We've got a good crowd of people here tonight, and just want to welcome you guys here. I appreciate you guys coming out for the meeting tonight. Just a little protocol to start with. Being it is a little different type of meeting, we're going to do all the swearing in and the oaths at the beginning. So once we do that, we're going to take probably about 15-minute break where people can take pictures with families and stuff like that, and y'all can congratulate the new commissioners. So, so if it would, I think we got Lindsay here, be taking some pictures along as we go. But if it would, everybody wait till we do the organizational break, if you would, to kind of come up and take some pictures of your family if you want to, and those type of things. So with that, again, appreciate you coming, and we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We always rise and do that, and then I'm going to recognize Reverend Michael Ely from New Bethel Baptist Church. He's going to come up and say an invocation for us. So we would rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Come on up. Try that mic over there. I think that will work.
Shall we pray together?
Yes, sir.
God of creation, God of kind spirit, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for us as we gather and govern together. God, we ask that you would pour wisdom onto this town. God, we thank you for the leaders that you have chosen. God, we ask that you would give them divine wisdom. We ask that you would give them righteousness. God, we ask that they would govern with justice and equality. God, we ask that you would allow them to continue to move us forward. God, we just thank you for what you're doing in Rolesville. We thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, next order of business is we got a special recognition for two outgoing members tonight. As you notice, Michelle Medley's not here. She's having some family medical issues, kind of touch and go with her being here, but she wasn't able to come. But I do want to recognize her. She's a long-serving member of this board. Actually, 8 years of service, which is a big dedication. It's a big commitment to serve on the board like this for 8 years, and the work that's required. So just want to thank her for that. She started in 2015 and faithfully served for 8 years. She actually served 2 years as mayor pro tem, which is additional duties that she took on, and worked very hard at that. She served on several numerous appointments that we gave throughout the time. She started early in economic development. At one time we had zero in economic development, so we've come a long way. She was one of the pioneers of that effort back in the 2016-17 time frame. And also she served liaison for both of our large boards. She was liaison for the planning board and also the Parks and Rec board. Served very well on those. I think she served also as an alternate to the to what we used to call the Triangle J, which is a council of government regional group, and it's been changed to Central Pines, I think is what they're called today. But I don't know how many years she served on that. Probably about 5 years, which is another big commitment. And I think lastly, I would sum it up, her passions in the last couple of years has been a lot to do with affordable housing. As you know, the board, affordable housing in Wake County is a real struggle. And she, whatever we got a committee now that's working on trying to come up with affordable housing plan, and whatever we come up with in the future that has to do with affordable housing, she will be recognized as a pioneer of kind of getting that started and off the ground. So just want to thank her and just give her a hand for the work that she has done over the years. So thank you, Michelle. Next to my right here is Sheila Sutton. She has also been on the board for 8 years, starting in 2015. Commitment has been tremendous over the years. I would kind of sum her up as being full-time economic the whole 8 years. One of her passions has been economic development. Some of the things and some of the progress that we have seen due to her work is showing up today in economic development. When we look at some of the things that's coming in, like cobblestone and Main Street, and she was instrumental in working with Frank, our previous mayor, in Main Street and getting cobblestone, early workings in that. Very much involved in it. And I think one of the other things I would say I recognize Sheila from in the past 8 years has to do with no better way to sum it up than HR stuff. I mean, she's had a big passion for HR, big passion to make sure our employees and the people who work for us, is up to date, up to date on what they need to be successful. She was instrumental in getting us our first HR director. So, that's one, legacy that, she'll always be involved in. I think our HR efforts today would be different if it wasn't for Sheila and her passion and work that she put into HR. And I mentioned Main Street was a big thing, that accomplishment that really early on. And she's not stopping. She's currently serves as president on one of our nonprofit groups that the town has, which is the Rolesville Downtown Development Association. It's a pretty new group that she was very instrumental in getting that started. Working on, even as we speak this week, some of the bylaws with that. She's been represented as a town representative on that board, a commissioner. Naturally, she won't do that, but I think the board is keeping her on, and it's up to the board, but I think the board is keeping her on as president, I think. So that's going to be a good thing. So she'll continue to do a lot of work with the town, and really, really greatly appreciate that, and want to appreciate her her hard work over the last 8 years. And I'm gonna ask, do you have any closing things you want to say?
I have some words. I am not the quiet board member. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, for those kind words and listening to those achievements. It's a lot of work. So I'm going to read what I have so I stay on track. 5 minutes. So I took this journey back in 2015, one that was not completely clear, but that I was compelled to take, having concerns about a missing traffic light at Jonesville and Main Street. I had young drivers, and the bypass had not been built yet. But then, by not so happenstance, I met the former Mayor Eagles. He asked me, had I ever considered running for town board? To which I responded, what is town board? Today, I'm proud to say that we have a bypass and a light at Jonesville and Main. I have been told on occasion that I am somewhat of a dreamer, but I take that and I still believe in the power of unity of a community. When I moved here, our town was less than 1,000 people, and today we're budding at about 12,000. Yet we still have a sense of community pride and wanting to be better. I can't see. Well, that has been my motivation for the last several years. People simply caring and wanting our community to be a great place to call home. In 8 years, I have in essence served on 3 different boards, as the board's personalities change based on its members. We have also had one of the most diverse boards in the state of North Carolina. I sit before you as one of the first Black people and first Black woman, one of two, to serve on this board. I believe in diversity, and it is important, and when you have different perspectives represented, you get better outcomes. I am proud to have been part of many things that have been accomplished in 2015 or are underway, and I just want to highlight a few. Our first economic development strategic plan, as you know, that's near and dear to my heart. We developed that. We did our branding and our wayfinding, updated our website so it was more customer or member or resident friendly. Our Main Street Vision Plan that the mayor talked about, the commercial development that we now have coming at both ends of town, and as well as this board approving outlying commercial areas. It's important for our tax base. Organizational assessment, I pushed for us to have that because I know that staff is important. Enhancing our staff, the mayor already mentioned having an HR director. I pushed for that, having an assistant town manager, I was all on board with that, and having a communications person. We are going to be having our first building open, the Public Works building on Young Street. Don't know if you all are aware, our first building. I'm so excited about that. Also having a community engagement process. When I ran, I talked about making sure that we were transparent and we invited people in because this is your community. So having processes for our advisory boards, which are Planning, Parks and Rec, Board of Adjustment, and soon to be, hopefully, next year, Appearance Commission. We also have plans for the 116 acres that we bought some time ago that is coming for future agritourism. Our town campus plan design is underway, and as the mayor mentioned, our affordable housing plan is underway for 2024. So we've come a long way from one traffic light that I moved into. But as we have grown, each board that I have been a part of has been thoughtful about our community and have done the best job we can to develop it responsibly. It takes a village, and that's how I think of Rolesville, a community village. To all this, I give credit and honor to God for any and all talents, skills, and abilities that I have contributed to this position. Thank you. I also thank my ride or die, if he would stand, my husband, Carlton. The one who gets to see it all, the good, the bad, and the sometimes ugly, yet he still supports my sometimes zealous ideas and dreams. And I also want to thank my family and friends who have also taken this journey with me, from canvassing very early on to conversations of support. The board envisions great ideas for our town, but we don't actually do all the work, y'all. Our town staff are the ones who make it happen. Thank you to our Rolesville town staff, I hope I don't leave anybody out, for all that you have done and continue to do for our community. I just want to name the department heads, Kelly and Eric, our town management, Amy in finance, Lisa in HR, Dave, our police chief, Meredith, our planning director, Michael, our economic development director, Lindsay in communications, June, our new parks and rec director, and Donnie, our fire chief. And last but certainly not least, I want to call out Robin, our town clerk, for all that she does, and all of the employees that fall under those department heads. I can't name every single person, but there's not a whole lot, y'all, less than 50 employees. I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. All that happens in Rolesville. It's not a lot of people. So thank you, staff, for all that you do. Many will never see what goes into our ideas, our plans, our visions, our wants, but I know it's a lot of hard work, and we thank you all for that. And I want to thank this board for being in the physical and mental trenches together for the last few years, trying to do our best for this town. We all know it takes more than 2 meetings a month, so thank you for your committed service. And as we know, our mayor is a part of this board. He doesn't generally vote, so I want to thank you personally, Ronnie, for your thoughtful and inclusive leadership of this board. You are very conscious to ensure that we all have voices and are heard, whether we agree or not. Thank you. Finally, I want to thank this community at large for your 8 years of support, whether that was a pat on the back, a kind word, a critique, a suggestion, an email, or an inquiry, or a stop and food line. I give a special shout out to our former mayor, Frank Eagles. May he rest in peace and power. And my first lady of Rolesville, Pamela Eagles, for all that you've done for Rolesville and for me. I hope I have served as a representative that made you proud and an advocate who heard you. With that, I bid you farewell as commissioner. Wish the continued best for our town. Onward. Thank you. go. Thank you all.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. You achieved a lot in 8 years, as I said before, and as you said, it's just amazing, ain't it? And it goes by quick, too, don't it? So here's something, just a little appreciation, something you can take to your office or however you want to do it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carl. Okay, thank you. Dang it. Yes, sir. All right, now we get into the new commissioners that will be coming on board. And we'll do that officially with some call swearing in, taking the oath of office. Where's the judge? I see the judge. He's back there. I just want to welcome Judge Craig Coon to Rolesville. Welcome. Come on down if you want to. I'm going to introduce you now. You know, sometimes, as you probably aware, some things on the internet is not always 100% correct. But I think I got this correct, and if I don't, you kind of correct me. But Mr. Judge Croom is served as special Superior Court judge, and I think some of the background I got is pretty good, pretty interesting. Previously served as a law judge, a special Superior Court judge, assistant district attorney, and it says here a Wake County Sheriff Deputy.
Back in the 1900s.
All right. That is amazing. That's amazing. Well, welcome to Rolesville. Welcome to Rolesville. Graduate of UNC Chapel Hill. We won't hold that against you. And the North Carolina Central School of Law, a very good law school. So appreciate you coming. And fortunately, unfortunately, I am the first one to have to take the oath. So I will come down and you can give that to me.
Okay. It's truly my honor to be here tonight because you mentioned being a Wake County deputy. I can remember when Rolesville was 900 people.
You probably have to serve, Steve.
Yes, I used to work this area long time ago. I'm not going to tell too many stories, but there's a young man who worked at the sheriff's office with me that can probably tell stories about me, so I'm going to be quiet. All right, now, let's make sure we do this, because I want to make sure the camera person, one beyond, there you go, wherever you need me to stand, if you want me to stand opposite, it's fine, okay. Always remind folks when you're taking oath, it's a promise that you're going to do certain things. It's sort of like when you married this young lady right here. In other words, you made certain promises. And so what I'm going to do is have you repeat the words of this oath, but I'm going to do it slowly, okay?
Be great.
All right, if you will place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. If you repeat after me, I, your name,
I, Ronnie Kern,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and law
of the United
of the
States,
United States.
that I will be faithful
That I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are
which are
or may be established
or may be
established
established
for the government thereof,
for the government hereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support,
to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of said state,
of said state,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duty
discharge the duty
of my office
of my office
as mayor.
as mayor,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Let's congratulate him. Okay, thank you. I'll listen to you. Congratulations. I sign my name a lot, so no one can read that, but they know it's me.
Thank you.
All right, let's have Linwood Long Jr.
I see.
This one, and then you'll sign that one, okay? And again, just like when you promised this young lady, we're gonna make you promise here as well, okay? I, your name,
I, Linwood Long Jr.,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United
of
States,
the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North
to
Carolina
the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are
which are
or may be
or
established
may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support,
to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of said state,
of said state,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and
to
ability,
the best of my knowledge and abilities,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge
discharge
the duties
the duties
of my
of
office
my office
as Commissioner.
as Commissioner.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Commissioner Long, if you'll allow me to introduce you, Lucy.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse my sweat as I go along the way. I don't leave a puddle.
To behave. There we go. Official.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, I understand you also Reverend Long, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you know, as a preacher, you always say, will there be another? Okay. Mr. Paul, I saw you, there you are. Can't escape now. All right, left hand on the Bible, raise your right. If you repeat after me, please. I, your name,
I, Michael Paul,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are
which are
or may be established
or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
and that I will endeavor
and I will endeavor
to support,
to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of said state,
of said state,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge
discharge
the duties
the duties
of my office
of my office
as Commissioner.
as Commissioner,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Commissioner. That's my middle name, Professor. All right. Mr. Mayor, do you want me to stand to the
Yeah,
side?
just hang on. I hope this doesn't take too long, hopefully. But thank you so much. And welcome to the board, new commissioners. You don't serve too long before you have to take a vote, and that's what we do now. This will be your first official vote, is picking a person from your group to be mayor pro tem. Mayor pro tem is it's really an honor. It's really an honor to be a mayor pro tem, because really it's signifying that your colleagues is picking you as the leader. It's more of a honorary thing than a lot of work. It's not a lot of work involved. It's just more of the board is putting trust in a mayor pro tem. Paul has served faithfully last 2 years. Appreciate your service, Paul. You may be serving again. I don't know. It's the appointment of the board, but usually I open it up as sort of a tradition that we've always done in Rolesville, is allow the current mayor pro tem to make the first nomination if so choose to. So with that, I'll yield to you. If you'd like to make a nomination, I'll take it now.
Yeah, I don't have a long speech for everybody tonight, I'm sorry. I will say it's been my honor to serve the last 2 years as mayor pro tem, but it would be my greater honor to nominate Commissioner Sneed.
Second, sir.
Okay, that was quick. So, good. It might be a good signal for the board there. So I got a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Paul Vilga, Commissioner April Sneed, and I got a second from Commissioner Austin. Is there any other discussion from any of the board members? Not hearing any, I will ask for a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I think it was unanimous, Madam Clerk. Appreciate that. And with that, we got a new Mayor Pro Tem. So. So with that, we have to swear her in. So you up again, one more time.
One more time.
Okay.
Okay, cousin.
All right, if you repeat after me, your name,
I, April Sneed,
do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of North
to
Carolina
the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional power
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities
and authorities
which are
which are
or may be established
or may be established
for the government thereof,
for the government thereof,
that I will endeavor
that I will endeavor
to support,
to support,
maintain,
maintain,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of said state,
and laws of said state,
not inconsistent with
not inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of my office
of my office
as Mayor Pro Tem,
as Mayor Pro Tem,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And then sign.
All right, well, thank you, Judge, for coming out. Any departing words?
Governor.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So So with that, I think what we will do now, we got some items that we will take care of on the agenda. You stay as long as you want to, but we will take let's take a 15-minute recess. According to that clock, it'll be 7:45. Anybody want to take some pictures? Congratulate the new commissioners. Congratulate the new Mayor Pro Tem. We'll give a chance to do that. So thank you, and we'll be in recess to 7:45. To order the Rolesville Board of Commissioners meeting. Appreciate everybody that came out. That was a very good organizational start to the meeting. Next item we got is sort of what I call the appointees, the liaison appointees. And just a little heads up of what a liaison is. It's something that I'm not exactly sure which mayor started. Maybe it was Eagles, I think, is the first time I remember somebody carrying that name. But we've had a long history of that, and really it's a appointee that kind of take charge of something that needs to be taken charge of and work with our boards that we have to kind of interact with them and pretty much speak on behalf of the town on those items and be able to communicate kind of the board's direction in a lot of things and kind of help all our organizations work together, staff and our boards. So I want to make those appointments. The first one is liaison to the Parks and Recreation Board. That's Paul Vilga. Paul's been doing that ever since he's been on the board, so this would be his fourth time, I think, for 2 terms, so 8 two-year terms. I think this will be his 7th and 8th year. Appreciate that. That's a passion of his. One of the reasons that he runs for the board and wants to be on the board is to work with the Parks and Rec. So appreciate you taking that again, Paul, and working with that. April Sneed will be appointed to the Planning Board, working with Meredith on items in the Planning Board meetings. Actually, probably a better way to say that is the Planning Department than the board, but Michelle had been doing that, so she's replacing Michelle with that. Linwood Long Jr. is replacing April, liaison to public safety. Main item we have going on there has to do with the Rolesville Rural Fire Department. We're trying to do a unification at some point in the future and continue discussions with that. So appreciate you taking that role, Linwood, and serving that for us. Dan T. Austin.
Yes, sir.
His passion is veterans. As y'all know, he's done a really good job with veterans, and a lot of good things are going on with veterans. And I don't think I could take it away from him if I wanted to. He's got so many things in the fire, some things that if they really come about, it's going to be amazing, right?
Yes, sir.
So he's appointed again to work with the veterans, and I'm really glad you do that, Dan. Appreciate you do a really good job. And then last appointed liaison, we had one up to this point in economic development. As you know, we talked about earlier tonight, we've had a lot of things going on with economic development. It's come a long ways. We got this downtown Main Street organization now that's working on economic development. So I'm going to replace that liaison with one. It's going to be a liaison to the senior citizens. So I think they're a group of people that it's a pretty large number of senior citizens that lives in Rolesville, and I think we in the future we want to be recognized as being very much open and be accommodating to our senior citizens and helping them in all ways that we can. So Michael Paul has graciously said that he would serve that role, so I'm appointing him the liaison to senior citizens, and hopefully we'll see some things in the future. I know some of the adjoining towns have some senior citizen centers and places to go to do some things during the day. And we got some very good nonprofit groups like the Senior Network and all working with that. So not really starting from scratch, but it's just a matter of pulling things together, and really appreciate Michael doing that. So those are the 5 liaisons, Madam Clerk, if you want to record that. Committees, get to point some committees. Affordable housing is a committee that we've been working on for a while. April Sneed has graciously said she will serve on that board. And, you know, we met a few weeks ago and we decided we want to have a citizens rep on that board. We don't have a citizen rep on it at this point in time. And Sheila had been serving on that. And Sheila Sutton will serve as appointee as a citizen rep on that one. Downtown Development, Rolesville Downtown Development Association, which is this nonprofit group. Michael Paul, really this group by bylaw or by organization of the nonprofit, I think, there's two seats that's on that board from the town, one a commissioner seat and one is a appointed administrator seat and the mayor. So Michael Paul had been serving on there for, how long, a year or two? So he will continue to serve on that, as he won't be a citizen, but he will be a town representative. And I will naturally continue that as a mayor. We're going to have a new board, a new committee this year. We've had this in the past. We haven't the last, gosh, I don't know, Amy, maybe 6 years, 7 years, something like that. Ever since I don't think we've had it since Betty Whitaker left. So you know, that may have been 6 years ago, but we used to have one, and it's really a budget committee that works with Amy and her department in making sure that the board is on the same page as what the committee, is what the budget folks is working on in Amy's group. So Paul is going to be on that board, kind of heading it up a little bit, and Linwood is going to serve also on that. And then we got several groups that works as nominating committees for our other boards, and some of them are the liaisons, but the planning board, April will be the chair of the nominating committee, and Michael Paul will serve also on that nominating committee. Parks and Recreation, Paul will be the chair, and Linwood, if you serve on that one, Ebb and Paul. And we really need to get those done this month, Madam Clerk, and I think we got a lot of applications already, right? And I keep seeing it being open. If we got enough, can we put out there, we're going to close applications, you know, next weekend or next week or next Friday or something, so you guys can go working on that. I would love for y'all to bring to the January meeting your recommendation, your nomination. So especially for those two boards. And the other board is a board of adjustment. Dan is going to chair that, and I'll serve with Dan on that one. That one we got good right now because we was in a bind with not having anybody, and we got those done last month. But there is one more, I think, that has application that, you know, maybe work with the group, and we'll get that one. Be good to get that one into January with all of them together, if we can finish that up. And all the boards will be completed for next year. And then lastly, some regional appointments. And I talked to some of you guys on this, and you know, I do a lot of the regional stuff, and I'll continue to do that unless somebody wants to take something. But April has been serving with the League of Municipalities. She will continue that, but as an alternate, I think I will serve, you know, as a delegate on that one, so we can get that name to them. The Central Pines Regional Council, I'll be the delegate on that. Dan, I think Dan, we talked about maybe doing some regional stuff. Dan will, you know, be an alternate, be a good group to get plugged in. Mayor Association, naturally, you know. And then the last one is the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization. I think they're looking for a delegate. I'll continue to be the delegate. Michael Paul will be the alternate. And it's a lot of training and stuff to go with that one. So those are the 24, 25 appointees. Any questions on that? Any thoughts? And you have all this, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, and I will notify the entities of this one tomorrow.
Okay. And really, we don't need a vote on that. I just need, you know, affirmation from everybody. If anybody have any problems, speak up. If you can't serve or something, but really don't require a vote for that. But appreciate you guys serving. really, these things, it's a lot of work involved in them. And, Dan can contest that, and April can contest with the work she does. There's a lot of work involved. Appreciate you guys willing to work and do that. The next item is review of the agenda. So we got the agenda. If anybody like any changes or revisions to the agenda, this is your time to speak up. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Michael. So we got a motion, a second. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Not hearing any. Motion approved. Thank you. This portion of the meeting is public invited to be heard. So anybody that would like to speak, anybody signed up? Nobody signed up? So anybody want to speak, just come forward. You get 3 minutes. We're going to be pretty strict on that, but appreciate that. Consent agenda, there's 1, 2, 3 items on that. All these we have covered. Maybe want to talk about the adoption of the schedule of meetings, make sure everybody has a chance to put their last eyes on that. I know sometimes we run into issues with vacations and holidays and stuff, so it looks like we changed the January meeting to Thursday.
Yes, sir.
And is that the only change? Is that the only change,
Yes, sir.
pretty much?
One thing I see.
Any thoughts? Anybody got any issues? And kind of what we do, we first Tuesday of the month is our regular meeting, business meeting, and we start that at 7. And then the third Tuesday of the month is a work session that we usually start at 6. We try to be a little bit later with the business meeting because people work late a lot of times, and we want to give everybody the best opportunities possible to come out and be part of the meeting and be able to have a public, speaking or whatever, if they need to complaint or make us aware of something. So a lot of times we start something before 7 is people with conflicts with their daily life, but work session is really more informational. It's not a lot of interaction from the public. But you okay with the times and okay with the dates? All right. So, so that will be adopted along with the consent agenda. And then the last thing is the consistent statement on something that was approved.
It's on East Young Street.
Did we actually approve this one?
That was a denial.
Huh?
That was a denial, but the statute requires a
But
statement
we still
regarding.
do a consistent statement?
Exactly. The language, I believe, says inconsistent, but it's still called a consistency statement.
Very good. Okay. Inconsistent statement is what we're doing. All right. So those are 3 items. Any other discussion, question on those? If not, I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any. Thank you. And, for light agenda tonight, we got one action that we have to take at a legislative hearing. And this is a voluntary annexation due to health emergency situation, I think. So we're gonna hear this one. So with that, I think I'll go ahead and open the public hearing and just let you give this open statements. I'll open the public hearing for ANX 23-05. It's at 1880 East Young Street. Public hearing is open, and any introduction from the staff?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. For your consideration this evening is a voluntary annexation petition. It's a contiguous voluntary annexation petition for a little over 2 acres located at 880 East Young Street. And you can see the site is here outlined in the orange-brown color. It's on the west side of Young Street near the bypass, south of Cedar Lake subdivision. The applicant is seeking the voluntary annexation to receive water and sewer services from the city of Raleigh. The homeowner has a failing well at the residence and needs water. So the legislative hearing was scheduled for today, and following that, recommended motion is for approval of the voluntary annexation petition for 880 East Young Street, ANX 2305. And staff is available for any questions, and the applicant's representative is here this evening.
Okay. Any questions for staff on this particular one?
No, sir. No.
I just have one question, Meredith. I believe I read this, that as residents have issues, then it's required that they connect to the town. Is that correct? Or is it, did I make that up?
No, our ordinance states that individual lots that have failing well systems shall connect
Yeah.
to the utility, so yes, you're correct.
Okay.
As long as they're no more than, or within the 300 feet.
Right.
And this home is 200 and some feet
Yeah.
away from the closest utility connection.
Very good.
So it meets all the requirements?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, so we'll hear from the public, and, I'll just take any comments anybody want to speak for or in favor or not in favor of this come forth. Anybody sign up, Meredith? You got the sheet up there?
I don't see anybody on the sheet.
Okay, so Mr. Pulley, anything you guys want to say anything, or anything you want to say?
Well, it's,
Would you like to?
The well has pretty much completely failed. He's had a private well all his life, but it's pretty much failed. I guess it's due to nearby construction, maybe the underground geology got rearranged, all the construction or whatever. But the well is pretty much past its usefulness. And that leaves us with no more options than to seek water from Raleigh. And it's been quite a while already. So we would appreciate some positive action as soon as possible. As I say, it's kind of a necessity. Mr. Pulley, the property owner, is in failing health now, and he especially needs it now.
Yeah, if you don't mind, state your name and address.
I'm Dennis Parker. I'm Mr. Pulley's stepson, and I reside there at the present time as an aide to Mr. Pulley primarily.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate
Parker.
that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, really, we didn't, thank you, I was talking to Board here.
okay.
Really, we didn't have any action tonight, but being this is somewhat of a urgent situation for them to get water, we put it on tonight's agenda, so it's, I think it is needed.
Yes, sir.
So, any other people want to speak? Anybody want to speak? Do the board have any questions you want to speak before I close the public hearing? No. Because I'm going to close the public hearing. I'm going to close the public hearing. Public hearing is closed. And so with that, I'll leave it up to the board for any deliberations, and I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the voluntary annexation petition received under GS 160A-31 for ANX 2305 Pulley residents.
Second it.
Okay? We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Not hearing it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Well, thank you. Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate that. So, communications from town attorney.
Mayor, I'm aware that there is a request to go into closed session for a personnel matter, and that has been added to the agenda. Otherwise, there's no report from my office.
Thank you much. Any communications from town manager?
In general, just wanted to give you all updates. We've had several interviews in the recent weeks to fill some of the vacancies leading up to, as you know, in the budget when it was passed, we had several positions that started January 1. And also some other positions have kind of emerged through the determination of needs throughout the months. And so we had interviews for accounting tech. We had the new administrative support specialist, administrative position in Parks and Recreation start today. That is one that you previously had approved in early this year, along with the additional athletic coordinator as well. And so those interviews have been going well, as well as some recent shifts to in our planning department. One of our planner ones was recently promoted to planner two. And so that just shows that we have that growth pipeline and are able to keep talent here. And that's something that a lot of organizations are struggling with right now, is to create space for growth for staff. And so those are the updates as far as the recent weeks. And also happy holidays from staff. We hope that y'all have a good break. And the new additions to the town board team, I hope you're ready to come on back and hang out with us a little bit in the new year. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Eric. And welcome, welcome to the meeting tonight. Eric is officially our assistant town manager. It's really doing a great job of serving us in this transition time. Really appreciate that. Thank you for coming. And appreciate the update. And I'm very glad to hear the parks got their person on board. So I think that gets June fully staffed. Is that right?
Yes. Parks and Recreation is fully staffed based on the approved positions that we have in the department, fully staffed.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Okay, any communications from the town board members?
Yes, sir. I just got one. Just to all my veterans, due to the holidays, we're not having a veterans coffee this month. We will see everyone in January. And for those veterans that are on the alert roster, they will be receiving text messages about the upcoming meeting. That's all I have, sir.
Great. Any other commissioners, anything? Anything? Only thing I would report is, and I think most board members are aware of it, this ongoing problem at the Grante, which is the 65 and over senior citizen apartment facility over on Granite Rock Drive, I think, or Granite Rock Way, I think it's called. We visit, Michael and myself visited them last night, along with some elected officials, Mary Wills Bodie, Senator, North Carolina, and Terrence Everett, which is our House representative of North Carolina. It's an ongoing issue. Their rent is they're on a fixed income. Most of them on a fixed income, and their rent is, some of them has gone up $400 or $500 a month, and not sure what we can do, but it's getting pretty tough over there, and the only thing we can do is just try to help them as much as we can, and get as many people involved that may be able to help them. So Wake County is involved in the offsite. They didn't have anybody there last night, but they have been involved, and they got a lot of services that could help. But just make y'all aware of it, and it's an ongoing issue, and it may become more public, next few days, because it is getting to a point where they may do some evictions soon, and that will raise the, I guess that raised the ante a little bit, I guess, when you're thinking about it, when actually evicting people who don't have anywhere to go. So very tough situation, very tough, I feel for them. So that's the main thing going on. The mayor show Thursday night, we're going to have economic development show, which is a little bit different than normal. The last show of the year is always economic development, and our economic development director, Michael McFarland, will be on there along with Sheila, which has kind of worked all year with economic development. We just want to talk about some of the successes we had so far this year, and which I think we've done a good job. I think things have come along really well with that. And also talk about maybe, hopefully, some predictions for next year. So y'all tune in if you like. It's going to be Thursday night, and pretty good show. Those are the main things. I will say, you will be hearing in the next few weeks is something that Kelly had been working on, and I think now, now to what now? Now Eric is now getting involved with. We had a house that didn't have water for several months because the line was cut by new construction going in, and it dated back to in the 1960s when the water line was put in by the town of Rolesville in the 1960s, and it wasn't located on the property, it was located on somebody else's property without an easement. I think I'm summing that up correctly. So, doing the merger agreement, Raleigh was supposed to get all non-compliance things compliant. And this is one that wasn't identified, I guess, being on the ground. Nobody knew it wasn't non-compliant, but it wasn't fixed. And now, being some construction work went on, it got cut, and it's caused some problems. So Raleigh's going to relocate the meter, and the homeowner's going to have to put a line in. But I think they're going to ask us if being that it should have been fixed by the town or Raleigh years ago, if we can do anything about it. So just a little heads up, that may be coming. It may be something that, Kelly had planned to bring it to us when we got the estimate and how much it was on cost and that kind of thing. They're supposed to get all that done, but just a little heads up on that. Because I think I think Raleigh is supposed to put the meter in this week. Eric, I don't know if you're aware of that or not. And they're paying to put the meter in. They're paying to put the line in, the meter in, and all that stuff. So they're paying for that. So it's just we got to figure out the rest of it. But that's all I got. That's the biggest things that's going on in town, I think. Any other thoughts? If not, appreciate everybody coming. Good to see you guys. Thank you much. And I think the attorney, it says we got a item 13 closed session. So I will entertain a motion for item 13.
I move to recess to closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11A6 personnel.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to recess. Any other discussion? Not hearing any. So we're going to recess for a few minutes. So thank you. Appreciate that. And we'll be in closed session.
think the board is saying the word, I move, meaning
It's gonna go live here, so, everybody just in your spot, let me know when you go live.
We're live.
Okay, we are out of closed session. We went into closed session to discuss personnel matter, and it was around the resignation of town manager. We had to, felt like we just needed to make some decisions on who will serve as interim until we go through the process of getting a permanent town manager. So at this time, I think the board has, wants to entertain a motion, so I will ask April to make a motion.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we make our assistant town manager, Eric Marsh, our current interim town manager, effective today.
Second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, Madam Clerk. One of the other things we were considering in the closed session was how do we hire interim? So we have directed town staff and attorney to work on coming back to us with some vendors that will do a search for us, and which we would love to have that by the first meeting in January. So if we can get those to us by then with some proposals on performing a search, that would be appreciated. So thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, interim town manager, and appreciate you guys working with us on getting that. Is there any other action, any other discussion on the board that being before we adjourn tonight? No. Town manager?
Nothing to add.
Thank you. Well, very well. Just want to appreciate it. This is the first meeting that we've had as a group here of the 6 of us. I think it's going to be exciting 2 years to come, especially for the 2 new members and experiencing some of the things that a town governance have to experience. And welcome aboard. Excited to have you guys on board. We have a lot going on. I mean, 2024 is going to be a big year with Main Street continuing. Some of these economic development projects is going to be starting opening up. You name it, it's going to be a lot going on. So I'm very excited, I think, for the year. Very excited to have you guys on board, and very excited to have a new mayor pro tem. So thank you, April. So with that, I just hope everybody have a happy holidays coming up. Get some R&R. We will not have another meeting until January, so we don't have our second workshop meeting this month. So unless something comes up, board, we have a break until January. So do appreciate the hard work. And Attorney, any closing thoughts from you?
No, sir.
Thank you. So with that, unless I have opposition, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. So we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Yeah.